Hi guys, it's Ksenia. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what my most complimented perfumes are as of right now. The perfumes that have just reeled me in the most compliments, not just compliments from like my family and my husband, because obviously I'm always around my family, I'm always around my husband, they know my scent, so they always compliment me. But I mean, like, if I'm going out somewhere, if I'm just out and about, if I'm at the grocery store and just a random person will give me a compliment. I've gotten compliments on some of these in the strangest places too, like a McDonald's drive-thru, which I don't go to McDonald's at all. I don't even know what I was there for. I don't remember because I don't eat McDonald's. Another one of these, I got a compliment while getting a literal Brazilian wax. But hey, at the end, she was just like, you smell bomb. Like, what do you have on? Now, I do want to say perfumes that I've mentioned in the past about being huge compliment getters, like my Narcisa Rodriguez Musk Noir Rose, my YSL Libre Intense, Givenchy Haute Couture EDP, an honorable mention, Black Opium La Parfum / Kayi Vanilla 28, because I feel like they both are kind of the same thing. Those 4 fragrances are scents that always get me compliments, but I feel like I've already reiterated that on my channel so much. So this one is some scents and some others that you might have heard about, but a lot of these are scents that I haven't really kind of elaborated on in my channel that much, especially in the sense that they get me a lot of compliments. So that is what I'm going to show you today. So if you want to see my top 10, actually 11 most complimented perfumes as of right now, then just keep watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and turn your post notifications on, and let's get started. By the way, I actually just put up a poll on my Instagram right now. By the time this video is done, that poll would have been gone, but I hope you guys are following me on Instagram, and if not, I wanted to also mention it on here for those of you that are not following me, which you should be. I always have my Instagram in the beginning of all my videos listed, but I just put up a poll on there asking you what your most complimented perfumes of 2023 was, because for those of you that are OGs on my channel, if you remember this little video right here, this is probably my most viewed video. It has almost 500,000 views, which is crazy, and that was a poll that I did last year around February, so it's almost been an entire year since that video. And I put up a poll asking you on Instagram what your most complimented perfumes are, and I basically counted all the votes up and just told you what the top 20 most complimented scents were according to you. So I am now doing that video yet again this year. So if you didn't get a chance to comment on my poll on Instagram, then I'm gonna ask you guys on here as well. Please, in the comments of this video, let me know what your top most complimented perfume of 2023 was, and I'll add up the results that I get in this video as well as the ones I got on Instagram, and that's how I'm going to do this year's most complimented perfumes according to you video. I literally just posted this poll and the results are already coming in, so I'm so excited to film this video. Okay, so let's get into my most complimented perfumes at the moment. First up, Kayi Utopia Vanilla Coco. I'm gonna try not to move this around too much because it's a like mirrored bottle. This perfume smells like Barbie dolls to me, and I know I've kind of deemed Stella McCartney Pop to be the scent that smells like Barbie dolls, but this also smells like Barbie dolls. I don't know what it is about this, because obviously this is a coconutty fragrance. I would say for the most part this is very much a summertime scent, although I've been wearing it now in the winter and the fall months. Like, I've been wearing this in like the past 3 months. I honestly wear this all year round, but it is vanilla cocoa, and at the end of the day I feel like this is best for the summertime. But this perfume, every time I put this on, I get compliments. This actually reminds me of like a grown-up, sexier, richer, more luxe version of Juicy Couture Bodacious, which is one of my favorite perfumes ever, but that perfume has been discontinued and it's really hard to find. And honestly, after discovering this, I kind of prefer this more. Although it's a very vanilla-y coconut scent, it doesn't have that sunscreeny kind of screechiness that a lot of these coconut scents do. It's so well-rounded, and there's something so pink about this. Every time I smell this, I think of the color pink. It reminds me of like a Barbie scent. It actually also reminds me of not only Juicy Couture Bodacious, but also the KKW/Kylie Jenner pink lips. That one was also like a really sexy vanilla coconut type scent, and this is even better. This has so much white florals in here, and also gardenia, which is one of my least favorite florals in the world, but it doesn't really smell that floral to me. I'm literally just getting a really creamy coconut, almost like coconut milk mixed with a really delicious vanilla-y also creaminess, a slight little woodiness in here as well. My mom really loves this, which is so strange because she likes the freshest of the freshest scents ever, and every time I wear this she's always complimenting me on it, so I don't know what it is. It's a sweet one, but she loves it. Probably another one of my most complimented perfumes of all time, Givenchy Irresistible, which is truly irresistible. They couldn't have picked a better name for this perfume. I remember the first ever compliment that I got on this was actually the first day that I bought this. I literally had just bought it, went in my car, sprayed it all over me, and then went in the mall. I was actually waiting in line, and as I go closer to go check out my items, the guy that was scanning my items was like, "You smell beautiful," or lovely. I think he said, "You smell lovely." And I just thought that that was the sweetest compliment ever. I've gotten compliments on this at the grocery store. I've gotten compliments on this at restaurants a lot. There's something about this, I'm telling you. It's irresistible, truly. I just recently bought a backup of this, like a full-size bottle, because I am like over halfway done with this, and I honestly did not expect to love this as much as I do. Scent-wise, this is like a juicy pear, sweet iris. It has this makeup powder sort of feel to it. It's so feminine and honestly lovely. She is beauty, she is grace. I have a feeling that this perfume is definitely gonna come up in the most complimented perfumes according to you guys, because I think a lot of people are loving on this right now, and it's been kind of a known thing that this is reeling in compliments everywhere. This is Burberry Goddess, which came out in 2023, and honestly this has become quickly in like my top, I don't know if I would say top 10 perfumes of life. I'm gonna just say top 20 just to be safe, because I feel like I have a lot of favorite perfumes. So I'm gonna say my top 20. Keep in mind, my perfume collection has gone up to almost 300 perfumes at one point. So I say that as somebody that has tried, smelled a lot of perfumes. Burberry Goddess is like my favorite way that vanilla is ever done. This is a spicy vanilla. You can smell the vanilla in here without even needing to spray it out. But once you do spray it out, you get a bit of this like citrusy vanilla spice type of thing. It's really, really bright when it opens up. This has lavender, cacao, vanilla, and ginger all in the top notes. So right away, this comes off so spicy, vanilla, rich, sweet, even within the first spray. But the more it dries down, you get vanilla caviar, and then when it dries down completely, you get vanilla absolute. So in here, you literally get vanilla at the top, vanilla at the bottom, and vanilla in the base. So you're pretty much always gonna be smelling vanilla no matter what journey you are in this sense, like whether it's in the opening to the dry down to what you're smelling 8 hours later. It's also a very long lasting perfume, and I just love it. I mean, it's like a known thing, vanilla is said to be this really, really complimented scent. So the fact that this perfume is on this most complimented list doesn't surprise me at all. And like I said, I have a feeling this is gonna be on a lot of you guys' lists as most complimented as well. This next one is an oldie but a goodie. This perfume I've kind of rediscovered in my collection because I got this about 2 years ago, and that is Versace Crystal Noir. This is the EDT. Every time I talk about this perfume, everyone's always asking me if I'm talking about the EDP or EDT. This is the Eau de Toilette version. Not sure what the EDP smells like. I always describe this in the same way. This to me smells like that delicious steam that comes from the shower after you use a ton of different smell good products, like your shampoo scent mixing with your conditioner scent, mixing with your body wash scent, and like all these smells coming together just have this amazing aroma. And then you get out of the shower and that steam and the smell of all those products is still kind of lingering in the air. That is what Versace Crystal Noir smells like. Every time I talk about this, and like I said, this is the EDT, I always say that this smells like coconut, and then I'll always have people in the comments saying, well, no, you don't smell coconut because the EDT doesn't have coconut. It's only the EDP that has coconut in the notes. But I smell coconut in this. I know that there is no coconut in the notes. This has a lot of spicy notes. It has pepper, it has cardamom, it has ginger all in the top notes. It has some white florals in the middle, and then it ends off with a really, really woody, kind of musky, ambery base. It's a really intoxicating scent, but I swear I smell coconut in here, like a really creamy, not sunscreeny, definitely the most unique coconut you've ever smelled. And if anything, because of the name, it's like a very, very dark, coconut. And I remember this when I first got it 2 years ago. I used to work at Target at that time, and I used to get so many compliments wearing this scent, even just at work, from like customers, coworkers. Everyone would compliment me every time I would step foot in that store. But I've actually recently kind of repicked it up, and it still amazes me how many compliments I get from this perfume. It's like a little gem, and I only have a little 1 fluid ounce of it that I've just been holding on to. Do they even make this scent anymore? I feel like I haven't seen it at Ulta's. Like, has this been discontinued? I don't know, but it is really, really good. A new love of mine is the MFK Gentle Fluidity Gold. This is the most rich, expensive, luxe, bougie vanilla that I have ever smelled. It's as if this had vanilla and they infused actual gold in this perfume. It's something so intoxicating about this. This has woodsy notes, it has vanilla, it has juniper berries, it has nutmeg, it has coriander. It's just like a list of notes. It doesn't have a top, middle, and base note kind of breakdown, but it is so good, so expensive smelling, rightfully so, because it is literally a car payment. But the good thing about MFK fragrances that a lot of other niche and high-end perfumes need to get on is they are so good on longevity. And I know that that's something that you're like, okay, well, I'm paying $300 for a perfume. Longevity should not be in the question. You'd be surprised how many super expensive perfumes barely last. And that is something I will say about MFK. You are paying that high price point, but not only are their scents amazing, you never have to worry about longevity. Like, this perfume, I could spray on today and smell it well into the next week, especially if you put this on your clothes, like your jackets specifically, because you know you're not washing your jackets every week. Oh, you will smell it for a long time. And speaking of MFK, of course, I know we're all sick and tired of talking about this, but in a most complimented video, I have to talk about this because it's one that has reeled me in some of the most amazing compliments ever. I don't know how to describe Baccarat Rouge. Like, how do you describe this scent to anybody? I don't know, because it's so unique and one of a kind. It's sweet, but it's so much more than sweet. I've made a nice little dent in this. I always get afraid of using this because this was an arm and a leg. I think this one was like 240, and then I think Baccarat Rouge was like 360. So let's just say I'm very careful every time I use this. But I will say Cloud by Ariana Grande, this is one that comes very close to it, although there is definitely clear differences within these two. I know this is deemed to be like the best dupe to Baccarat Rouge. I personally don't think anything can come close to exactly how Baccarat Rouge smells like, but this, I will admit, it comes pretty close. But I kind of consider this like the gourmand version of Baccarat Rouge, if that makes sense, like the creamier version of Baccarat Rouge. Baccarat Rouge is already sweet to begin with, but this one has like whipped creamy notes and like praline notes. It just has more of not total gourmand, like it doesn't smell food-like or cakey or anything like that, but way more creamy, just more dense, let's just say that. And there's also coconut in this, which I can also smell. So there's clear differences, but definitely when they both dry down, the scents are pretty similar. Like, this will have you achieving the same kind of scent profile as Baccarat Rouge without needing to spend that much money. So I'm including this because these two scents kind of interchangeably get me compliments. And speaking of Baccarat Rouge, I get a lot of compliments on Baccarat Rouge, but when I get the most compliments on Baccarat Rouge is when I mix it with Another 13 by Le Labo. Now, I'm not just saying that this perfume only smells good when it's mixed with Baccarat Rouge, because I've worn it alone so many times I've gotten compliments, but Another 13 has to be the layering perfume of the year. It pretty much mixes with any perfume that I mix it with, and it just adds like an expensive, rich feel to pretty much any perfume. If you have any perfume and you want to make it smell more expensive, layer it with Another 13. And after having this in my collection, I was like, maybe I should add these two, since they're both pretty expensive, together and create just like the most expensive layering combo ever. They have not steered me wrong, because this combo right here, this is the one that I was talking about when I said I got a compliment wearing these two while I was getting a Brazilian wax. As I was about to leave, she was like, you smell amazing. She told me that the scent that I had on smelled very signature scent worthy. Now there is a way to achieve this combo if you don't have these two and you don't want to spend this kind of money. There's a way to achieve it in a more affordable way. Keep in mind I said in a more affordable way compared to these, not the most affordable way. If you mix Cloud by Ariana Grande and Juliet Has a Gun Not a Perfume, which to me is definitely in the same realm as Another 13, then you pretty much have the same combo as these two. Now I do have to also talk about Another 13 on its own because this is the perfect your skin but better. It's another scent, much like Baccarat Rouge, that is pretty indescribable because it's one of those molecular scents and it adapts to your body chemistry. So I mean, how do you explain that? Like, I just can't. It smells like a skin musk, which kind of sounds disgusting. It's really, really woody and musky, but that sounds bad. Like, I don't like musky scents. I feel like musky scents sometimes smell like BO. This does not smell like BO. It has ISOE Super in it and Cedalox. If you have ever smelled or tried Not a Perfume by Juliet Has a Gun, it smells very similar to that. Oh, and also Molecule 1 by Eccentric Molecules. It's also very similar to that scent. Another one that is a Your Skin But Better type scent, but this one has a little bit more funness going on. I feel like Another 13 is more like sexy, more subdued, a little bit more serious. Glossier You is definitely more of like a fun scent that is very musky, but it's very, very playful and it has this tanginess to it. Oh my god, this smells so good. This is such a compliment getter. Everywhere you go, people will ask you about this. I can't stop smelling this. It's so good. There's something really addicting about this. This has iris in it. It has pink pepper. It's just more vibrant. And it also has ambroxan and ambrette. So that's where that molecular Your Skin But Better kind of scent comes in. But then it has that pink pepper and the iris, which, like I said, makes it more vibrant, more fun. It adds a tiny little spice kick. And that iris also makes me think of makeup because iris and violet are just those type of notes that make me think of that sweet makeup powder kind of scent. I actually included this in my video that I did of perfumes that smell like makeup. If you missed that video and you're into perfumes that smell like makeup, check it out. I will link it up here. But I really am a sucker for these. This is a makeup-y powder kind of scent without being as sweet as some other, or like most makeup powder smelling perfumes. So yeah, that is definitely a freshie for the most part. And if you've ever smelled or tried or have in your collection Kaleidoscope by Bath & Body Works, that is the spot-on dupe to Glossier You. And actually I do have a couple of Kaleidoscopes in my collection because it's one of my favorite Bath & Body Works scents ever. And every time I wear that body mist, I have to pair it up with Glossier You because they're like one and the same. And pairing the two together just makes the scents that much more strong. This is also a great performing scent. This lasts forever. Bvlgari, I always struggle saying that name. This is Omnia Coral, I believe, and this is the EDT version. I did not expect this perfume to get me that many compliments. This perfume smells a lot like the Chanel Chance Eau Tendre perfume, which is another huge compliment getter. That actually made it into my most complimented scents according to you video that I did last year. A lot of you said that that perfume got you a ton of compliments, and actually I had that perfume. I bought it I think shortly after that video because there was so much hype on it and I never really found myself wearing it that much, so I ended up giving it to my mom because she really liked it. And once she was done with it, she was like, this perfume was one of the best perfumes I got. She told me that every time she would wear it, she would get compliments from people. So something about this kind of scent family is just really compliment worthy. I think it's just because it's a really fresh, feminine, clean, just crowd pleasing scent. So there's nothing like polarizing in it. And Omnia Coral, very similar to it. It has that fruity kick that's so sweet and juicy, while also being really fresh. But I like Omnia Coral so much more because this has pomegranate in it, and I just feel like there's just more of a juicy sweetness to Omnia Coral. It's so pretty, it's so feminine. It has hibiscus in it, it has water lily, it has a little bit of this aquatic vibe. The first time I ever wore this, I got a compliment at a drive-thru in McDonald's while I was wearing this. But I've also gotten compliments literally everywhere. I've gotten compliments going to restaurants a lot with that perfume and just like out and about. It's just like a really fresh, fun, fruity scent. I don't think anybody can smell that perfume and be like, oh, I hate that, because there's nothing in it to hate. And on a similar wavelength of just a fun, fruity, fresh, super non-polarizing, crowd-pleasing scent is Dolce Gabbana Dolce Violet. I wanted to also include my Dolce, like the original one, because that is also one of my most complimented and honestly like signature worthy scents. I wear that perfume so much, I love it. But I feel like I've included it in other videos, so I wanted to talk about some other perfumes in this one, but that will be an honorable mention in this. But Dolce Violet, this is probably one of my husband's most favorite perfumes ever on me. I feel like this and also Tease by Victoria's Secret are like my husband's, like every time I wear either one of these scents, he is complimenting me all day. He's gonna bury his nose into my neck and tell me how good I smell the entire day. And you can literally see how much he loved this in the video that we recently did together of him reacting to my perfumes. So I'll link that up here if you're interested in it. But Dolce Violet is a violet perfume. It has a sweetness to it. There's depth to this perfume. A lot of fresh perfumes lack depth. There's depth in this one. There's almost, I don't know, like a creaminess about this that I can't explain. It's so unique, honestly, for a freshie. This also has black currant in it, so it has this berry sort of vibe. I mean, it's like a purple bottle, so it reminds me of just berries and violet, and that's kind of what I smell the most in here. It also has Madagascar vanilla, so for a freshie it has a good bit of sweetness in it. I think if you're a really sweet perfume lover but you're trying to get into fresh perfumes, this is a really great way to kind of get your foot in the door of the fresh perfume world, because it's still gonna give you that amazing sweetness that we sweet lovers crave, but it gives you freshness at the same time. And then the very last perfume I have here that is one of my most complimented. Oh, everyone loves this perfume. Actually, just the other day, my family and I have like this routine at the end of the day when everyone comes home from work, you know, everyone's doing their own thing. We all like to gather up in our balcony here. We have a little bonfire and we just kind of like talk about the day. And just the other day, I actually had my family, my husband, some family friends over, and I had them smell a bunch of my perfumes, and this one was the overall favorite by everyone. This is also another one of my husband's favorite perfumes ever. He actually picked this out for me when we were at a Sephora once. I was at the perfume section smelling a bunch of perfumes, and he just like randomly picked this up and he was like, this smells really good, like smelling. He was like in love with it, and I smelled it too, and I was like, okay. Like, I've actually been thinking of getting a Twilly perfume. I just didn't know which one to get, so when he told me that, I was like, okay, and I smelled it and I freaking fell in love. This is Twilly d'Hermes, the Eau Poivree version. The original Twilly, I've said many times, I don't like. I feel it's all over the place and just too spicy. It's like so spicy that it's one of those scents that makes me want to sneeze. But this one is still very spicy, and I love spicy scents. But without being too spicy, it's definitely more put together and more well-rounded. It has rose in it, which works so well with those spicy notes. It's not too old school smelling, because a lot of the time obviously rose will do that. And the spice from this is coming from pink pepper, which I love. This also has patchouli. This literally has rose and patchouli, which are two of my least liked notes, but something really works in this perfume, and I find this so sexy while also being classy at the same time. I love the Twilly Eau Poivree. I have a really hard time saying this name, but it's so good. Such a compliment getter. So that concludes this video. I hope you guys liked my most complimented perfumes, but I'm gonna need you to comment down below and let me know what your most complimented perfumes are. And definitely stay tuned to see the top most complimented perfumes according to you video. The poll is still running right now. I literally just posted it. So by tomorrow, when I've gotten all my answers on Instagram, and I'll also leave a few days for you guys to give me your answers down below in the comments in this video, and I would say in about a week or so I will have the video up for you guys, so definitely stay tuned for that. But that is it for me today. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video.